Our sixth and final tier stands for whole body movements. This is the why of what we do. We have to ask ourselves, as we're developing our fitness program, what is our purpose? Based on the discipline that we focus on, we will be choosing whole body movements that are most similar to that discipline. Obviously, different athletes, martial artists, dancers, and other kinds of movers are going to want to practice movements that are specific to their respective disciplines. So as we're designing our program, we need to think about the progressions that are going to lead us to the kinds of skills we're going to need to acquire. Of course, if you're like me and you want it all, we're going to look for a set of general movements that best translate into a variety of disciplines. Whole body movements have such an advantage over isolated exercises. Say going for a run, then hitting the gym 3 sets of 10 on the weight machine. We don't waste our time with that. Instead, what we want to do is carefully select movements that are going to stimulate our nervous system in the best possible way, heighten our spatial awareness, and overall boost the performance that we're looking for. Some of the whole body movements that I choose when teaching my classes are crawling, jumping in balance, handstands, pull-ups, ground flows, which are a collection of movements executed close to the ground and in a series, and acrobatics. When designing your exercise program, there are 4 things to consider. First, train movements, not muscles. Second, use mastery progressions to guide you from easy to difficult motor patterns. Third, address weak links and barriers to attainment. And fourth, chase your potential. Training movements involves just what we talked about. Choose the movements you want to be able to do, then base your activities around working towards that. Number 2 is getting a little deeper with the idea that all movements can be broken down into simpler and simpler steps. When you do that, you have a way to measure your progress and know that if you're getting stuck or plateauing somewhere along the way, you can always go back to the previous step and build more confidence and consistency there before moving forward again. Number 3 is addressing weak links and barriers to attainment. That's just taking an honest look at what's holding you back. Is it flexibility? Do you need to work more on that? Is it your strength? Are you just too weak in certain areas? Or is it your technique? So if you're learning something like an acrobatic move or a handstand, make sure you get some guidance and find out what works for others who already have this skill, and get them to help you with it. And last, chase your potential. If you're not excited about your physical development, it's going to show. You need to get excited. You need to be always thinking about where you want to be. And you need to have passion for it. Hold it in your heart on those days when you're low on energy or when you're feeling lazy. Just have an honest talk with yourself and say, hey, this is really important to me and I'm going to make it happen. All right, quick review. We build our extraordinary body starting with our mind state. Then we address nutrition, mobility, strength, endurance, and movements. And it's important to mention here that we're working on all of these simultaneously. The order from mind state up through movements is more about the order of importance than anything else. In other words, it's easy to just jump to movements and say, oh, I want to learn a backflip or whatever. But be honest with yourself. Is your head in the right place? Do you have the strength to do it? And do you know what you're going to do if things go wrong? That being said, I wanted to dive a bit into 3 of the tiers, specifically mobility, strength, and movements. Because knowing all of this, I've designed a class that addresses those elements, and I wanted to show you how I put it together. The Primordial Movement class is designed for people of all ages and fitness levels. We start day 1 exploring novel movements. Now, does that mean I'm going to ask you to do something that's beyond your current capabilities? No. We work through progressions. It's all very accessible to anyone who wants to put the time into it. But we will be working towards things like handstands, different kinds of tumbling skills, ways of falling safely, and different kinds of ground flows or movement flows. When I've talked to people who've been in this class for some time, one of the things they say that keeps bringing them back is that the classes are fun. The workouts are engaging. Again, the movements stimulate a part of our brains that I think this society really craves. So that's why I start off by designing my program this way. In addition, there are supplementary exercises that we do to enhance flexibility. Specifically, these exercises are used to develop the joint resiliency I was talking about earlier. We aim at getting our joints moving through the fullest range of motion possible while maintaining integrity in those joints. This way, we can become more flexible without risking making our joints unstable. Last, we build strength. So that's the raising of maximal strength through bodyweight training. A lot of it is borrowed from gymnastics. And we also work towards enhancing plyometric capacity, which is the ability for jumping, rebounding, springing type movements. And there's a very specific way to train plyometrics in order to avoid injury. Okay, before we finish up, I wanted to give you a quick breakdown of what it takes to get started with the Primordial Movement Program. The initial month grants access to 3 classes a week and has a happiness guarantee that comes along with it. What this means is that if you sign up and attend every class and you're not happy with your experience, I'll give you your money back at the end of the month. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, here's the catch. The requirement is that you participate. Wherever you are fitness-wise, I can help you, if you show up to class. If you don't show up, we may be dealing with a mind state issue, and I can't guarantee your progress. After the first month, we can talk about how your training is going and how we can best move forward with regular membership. I hope you're as excited as I am for pursuing the lifestyle of an extraordinary mover. Again, if you'd like to pick up a copy of my book, it's available at the link below. If you have any questions or would like to register for classes, please email me at raman@primordialplayground.com. You can also visit the website www.primordialplayground.com. Now that you've signed up for my newsletter, I'll also be able to keep you posted on future events and classes. Finally, I'd like to leave you with this. This is a story I wrote that I feel speaks to my passion for exploring the movement arts. I hope it speaks to you as it has for me. We emerged from primordial stardust, first as single-celled organisms floating in ancient oceans. Later, as our complexity grew, we found the strength to resist gravity and step onto land. Through dynamic earth changes and mass extinctions, our DNA survived and was passed down from generation to generation for 3.5 billion years until now. We are human. We are life. Our legacy is movement. We not only move in order to eat, to reproduce, and to survive, but we also move as an expression of what we are. This is because to be still is to be nothing. Primordial Playground is the state of mind where we both honor our ancestral past and chase our future potential. Our thoughts are the precursors of our reality, and as such, we need not be imprisoned by false limitations. With a sufficient dose of imagination and dedication, we free our bodies to experience abundant health and vitality. Our bodies are the primordial stardust, dancing in physical form. The world is our playground. So you see now, there you have it. You are already extraordinary. Now go live what you are. And thank you for listening.